Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you like Car Tycoon games, which I think it's been years since a good one has come out. I think it might have been called Car Tycoon. I can't recall. But that was just as simple as picking out some design features that you thought were in, and maybe the public was into it, maybe it wasn't. Well, anyway, this game, Automation, the Car Company Tycoon Game. Now this is a rough demo. I think they still have some ways to go. This game is good for people that like to design cars, like to design and build engines, and then of course you're going to have the Tycoon end of the game also. So, with the game, you're going to be able to create your own car empire, and it's going to span from the years 46 to 2020. So you'll be able to do world markets, complex and dynamic buyer simulation. It does have multiplayer and does have functioning multiplayer in the demo that I tried at, though I haven't played anyone. And it's just like a engine building competition. The car designer, I'm going to show you here in a minute. Lots of design, engine designs and parts. The demo doesn't really have it, but from what they're saying here, you're going to have inlines 3, 4, 5, 6 cylinder engines, V6s, V8s, V10s, V12s, and if you buy early and buy the turbo version for $35 right now, it will include a V16 block that you'll be able to build into your vehicles. The early release access you can get from their website. I'll have the information below in the description. You can purchase right now for $25. A little steep, but from what I played of the demo, definitely going to be a fun game and one to look for. So, like I say, you can do multiplayer, you can do scenarios. I think there's some engine building, well, that's tutorials and something about inline 4, whatever. I'm not interested in it. Campaign doesn't work. So here, I have built a couple cars, just messing around with the game. And I've also built a couple engines, like this one. I have a 4-liter 4-cylinder, because that's all I can build right now in the demo is inline 4 cylinders. And I got this bad boy all done up. I'll show you an engine here shortly. I know if you buy the demo, there's more you can do. The 4s, the 6s, 8 cylinders. I think then there's turbos in there. They're also going to be bringing out superchargers. So for your test mode, gives you all kinds of information, charts. This little 4-cylinder, okay, 4-liter, it's pumping out 428 horsepower. I threw it together in like 15 minutes, messed with a couple settings, so forth. That was that. So let's build a new engine real quick. Like I said, I can only pick 4-cylinder inline. We'll just go aluminum, change the bore size a little bit. You see here where the CCs are changing. Of course, 2600 cc would be a 2.6 liter. Let's just bring it down. I'm going to bring it down to more along the lines of a 2.5. Close enough. You can see here, each thing that you pick is affecting the settings in there. So I'm just going to go with a standard engine. I'm not trying to make another race engine or anything. So we can go with push rod, heads and valves, 2 valves per head, as you can see here. Let's see. You see how everything changes here. So high RPMs, average friction, low airflow, dual overhead cam, very low friction, very high RPM, so that's good. Airflow's a little low. Let's see if we see, now we put on more valves. Even a 5-valve engine would be very high, but let's see. Like I said, I'm just going to go for something economy. So we'll put an aluminum head on. Compression, we'll just drop it down a little bit. Cam profile, I guess we'll leave there. So we can do the VVT, the variable valve timing. We can do it on intake or both the intake and exhaust cams. The VVL is a variable valve lift. And this helps you in the different ends of the power band here. So let's see. The VVL, lower cam profile, better low-end performance, better economy. So of course we want to kind of, well, yeah, I guess we'll keep it kind of sporty. You can pick your different colors and so forth, styles. There's not a lot of them there yet. We'll just go all black. Aspiration, now if I had bought the game early access, I would have a turbo option here. So we're only going to go naturally aspirate it. And then, of course, you'll be able to pick your intercoolers, compressors, turbine. Let's see, fuel system. We can go carburate it. We can go single barrel, 2 barrel, 4 barrel. And these pretty much are like a direct airflow carburetor. Alright. Let's just, you know what, let's go injection. You can do a single point, which is kind of older technology. Multi-point. And of course you can do direct injection. Have the fuel rail there. It's going right into the cylinders. You can have a throttle body per cylinder, which is kind of crazy. Max power, 6,055. Don't think that is feasible. I'm not trying to make a race engine right now. Standard intake. Comes off right to your box. Performance, more open-ended. Race is going to be pretty much an air horn there to suck down some air. So, why they have leaded gasoline, I'm not sure. I think the developers live over in Australia. So maybe they have leaded gas. I have no clue. Maybe because it's going to take place in the early to mid 1900s to start off. Maybe that's why it's there. So I don't think unleaded came around till maybe the 70s. Alright, so we're going to just try regular unleaded. Fuel mixture. I guess we'll keep it lean. Ignition timing. Try to crank out a little bit more power in it. Put up a little, well, I don't want to go too high on the RPMs because this is kind of a junk engine. We'll just do a cast iron deal there. Manifold just comes down to 1. Heads to the back because it's a front wheel drive. Engine. Let's see, exhaust. You can put bypass valves on here to bypass the muffler. Of course, no kind of race setup. Catalytic converter. We'll just do a 2-way. Do a baffled muffler. Of course, you can put a second one on there too, which is going to reduce your power. Now we can let it do an auto test. This engine's very quiet because of the double mufflers. Sound actually changes compared to the mufflers and stuff I have on there. So it looks like this engine is passing. Oh, nope. A bottom end part is reducing the MTBF. I'm not quite sure what that is, as it is starting to reach its RPM limit. So if I put it over in this test mode, you can see everything going on here. So you can see the cylinders, the valves, the connecting rods. And you get to control the throttle to see when stuff in here. See, like airflow wise, see, I don't have a lot of good airflow. So let's go over to the exhaust. We could do maybe a short cast. You know what? Let's leave it that. Let's change the exhaust diameter just a little bit. It's a little bit of a bug. It's still getting hot. And something in the lower end. I could come back here, fiddle around with the bore and so forth. Change the materials. Could go with a cast iron block. Maybe that would be a little different, I'm not sure. So it looks like something in the cylinders and the connecting rods. Also the exhaust. Maybe if I open it up just a little bit more, but you have to be careful because you could be losing power also from having something too large. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So let's see here. Just for sake here, 131 horsepower at 6,100 RPM. See, now if I had raised this RPM up to let the red line be more like 7,100 RPM, I would have probably got up around the 428 horsepower, but the bottom end would have let out because I don't have it built up good enough. So anyway, doesn't matter. You save it right here. Name it whatever you want. Like this is a 2.5 liter 8-valve dual overhead cam engine. I like just leaving the names like that. I'm not going to save this one. I didn't spend any time in it. So let's go over to the car manager. Real quick, I can only choose from one body or one chassis type. But you see here, carbon fiber, glued aluminum, everything has different ratings. You can do engine placement. You can do a front traverse engine, which would be like your front wheel drive. Front longitudinal engine, which would be rear wheel drive, and they did say they're going to be adding rear mounted engines, kind of like your Lamborghinis and Ferraris. So we'll just keep it front wheel drive. McPherson strut, it's cheap, gives you a decent off-road. They're not sure if they're going to have trucks and four-wheel drives and everything yet. Let me see here. I guess we'll do a torsion beam, panel material. We'll make it out of aluminum. Now the body shell, I only have one body to choose from, unfortunately. A little ugly thing. But here's where the cool part on the car designer comes in. You grab stuff. Now this one doesn't have a lot of adjustment. But you can flare these out just a little bit. It does it on both sides. Come back here, flare that a little bit. Say you wanted more of a swooping rear window, or maybe more of like a van type, kind of like a Nissan Cube. You want it larger front doors. So this car model is horrible to even demonstrate, but alright, color, whatever. We'll go with a dark red. So you hop over to fixtures. Of course, now you have your different stuff here. So it kind of wraps around. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time trying to make this thing look pretty. But you get the point. You can widen it. You can narrow them down. Kind of stretch it both ways. See, those headlights come way back. Don't want that. So we'll just use that. Taillights. Top around back here. Don't have a lot to choose from. Again, if I purchase the game, I'll have a lot more. Let's see what these will look like up in there. Get some Altezza looking things. See, sometimes when you look at them front on like that, they don't look like they're wrapping correctly. You gotta kind of take a look around. You can flip them upside down, flip them like that. So whatever, looks good enough for me. Up here, let's see. Nope. Let's put this type of turn signal in. We'll just put it down low. There you go. Get kind of a front look. It wraps around. Take a look at the grills. So we can even put another one here. Line this thing up if we want. Everything you're doing here, you see the airflow go. Alright. So we have tons of airflow. It's good enough for that. Wings, you really can't put one on this car. Just leave that there for an example. Yep. Come back here. I know that's a little higher, but the door swoops up, so. Let's give it a little bit of a sporty scoop. There we go. Depending on the engine that's going in there, you might need the extra room. So you can even add another one in there and make it even more sporty. The vents, let's see. I know this is extreme, but alright, exhaust. And we'll go with these. You can turn it down to a single one if you want. A little bit of a lip there to give it some style. And finally, throw in a car badge. Throw one back here. Hell, it only keeps it up the middle. No, I'm sure that kind of stuff will change later. Name your car whatever you want. And go back, make a new model with it. You get to choose the engine that you built. This is 2-liter 8-valve single overhead cam engine that I had made earlier. It will fit in there. You can kind of see it through the vent. Manual right now. Do single, 5-speed, top speed, well, it's an economy car, 110 miles an hour. Spacey's down to be a little shorter, open diff. Come in here and change the tires around. It's 195, 55, 15. So after you get done with the tires, the sizing, rim size, so forth, go up, changes the profile, the width, the sidewall height, depending on the kind of car you're going with. pick your tire choice. Oh, let's see. Let's go down to brakes. Right now, there's only solid disc. On the front, we'll do a 2-piston. You see here the disc size is changing. Oh, wrong one. Pad type, it doesn't really show here, but I think the higher you go, the harder the pad. I guess I can only go this big because I have a 15-inch wheel in there. So in the back, we'll just put a single piston. We'll do roughly the same size rotor. Then aerodynamics. The required cooling, I guess, for the engine that's in there, as far as I'm understanding, is the 94.5. With all the openings that we have here, we have a cooling efficiency rating of 853. And as you're changing this is also changing the aerodynamics of the vehicle itself, so it will affect the braking distance and so forth. So we'll leave it there. Some more stuff coming. Go to testing, and for some reason it's missing the labels. The other day when I tried this, it had everything here. It told me braking distance, acceleration, and it would put it in red, yellow, or green if it was good, and so forth. So that about wraps it up for the demo version of this game, guys. Look down in the description below for a link to the developer's website. I would definitely say it's worth checking out. Alright guys, until next time.